everyone, my name is Ellen and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra on the guitar. So stay tuned if this is something that you want to learn, and make sure to subscribe to my channel, that way you never miss out on another new tutorial. So this song is going to be relatively beginner friendly. Make sure your guitar is in standard tuning and you do not need a capo to play this in the original key. On top of that, we're going to need to know 13 chords. Don't let the number of chords freak you out. They are mostly open chords, only 2 of them are bar chords. And on top of that, you only need to know 1 strumming pattern for the entire song. So I definitely think the hardest part about learning this song is going to be memorizing all 13 chord shapes. But after you have that, the rest of the song is really super simple. So let's go ahead and jump into an overview of what I'll be teaching you in this tutorial. Alright, so like I said, there's going to be quite a few chords to play this song. There are 13, and those are A minor, D minor 7, G7, C major 7, F, D minor, E7, A7, C, E, F minor, E minor, and G. Now remember, the F and the F minor are the only 2 chords here that are going to be bar chords. The rest of them are open, so it should be relatively beginner friendly. And don't let the names of these chords freak you out. I know there's lots of 7s and majors and all that kind of stuff, but the actual chord shapes themselves are not too bad. So if you're unfamiliar with any of these chords, go ahead and skip to this time here and I will go over those chords with you. However, if you already know all of them and have them memorized, then that's perfect. We can move on to the strumming patterns I'll be showing you in this tutorial. So if you're brand new to guitar, I always suggest that the first strumming pattern you start out with is a practice pattern, which is just 1 down strum on the beat for every chord change. This is really going to help you be able to know where those chord transitions are going to be, which will help you get used to singing while playing at the same time, and things like that. So if you want to go over an example of what that would sound like in this song, make sure to skip to this time here. However, if you don't think you need to go through this kind of 1 down strum practice pattern, then we can go ahead and jump forward to our first strumming pattern. So the first strumming pattern for this song is also the main strumming pattern that I use throughout it. As you can see, it's down, down, up, down, up, and it's going to sound a little something like this. Alright, so with this pattern, you just want to play that through 1 time for every chord change, and like I said, it's the main strumming pattern. I actually use this through basically the entire song. But anyways, if you want a closer look at how to play this strumming pattern, make sure to skip to this time here where I can break it down for you a little bit more and give you examples of what it sounds like in the song. However, if you think you got it just by listening to the rhythm, then let's go ahead and jump into that second optional strumming pattern I have for you. So the second strumming pattern, as you can see, is just 5 down strums. It's only used 1 time in this song, and so that's why I say it's optional. If you don't want to learn it, you don't have to, but it is going to sound a little something like this. The only time I like to use this is at the very end of the song, so if you want to go through an example of what this pattern sounds like and where to use it and things like that, make sure to skip to this time here. However, if you want to just stick to the first strumming pattern all the way through, that's totally fine as well. So if you feel like you already kind of get the song and things like that and you just want to go through the playthrough, go ahead and skip to this time here where I will put all the lyrics and chords and everything you need to know on screen in front of you. However, if you do want to break things down a little bit more, let's go ahead and jump into the rest of the tutorial, and I'll start with the chords. Alright, so like I said, there's actually 13 chords you need to know to play this song, but again, most of them are very easy. Let's go ahead and start with our A minor chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next we have our D minor 7 chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. And now this one is kind of a little bit of a bar because you are going to be barring your first finger across these first 2 strings for that one. After that, we've got our G7 chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next we have our C major 7, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that, we've got our F chord, which is one of our bar chords. That looks like this and sounds like this. After that, we've got D minor, which looks like this and sounds like this. Then we've got our E7, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next we have A7, which looks like this and sounds like this. We're almost done, guys. You can do it. The next chord is our C chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. After that, we've got our E chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next, we have our other bar chord, which is our F minor chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. Next, we've got our E minor chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. And then the very last chord you need to know is our G chord, which looks like this and sounds like this. And congratulations, you just played through all 13 chords that we need to know for this song. Alright, so like I said, the hardest part of this song is going to be memorizing all 13 of those chord shapes. So go ahead and pause the video right here and just take the time to practice them and memorize them and things like that. That is really going to help you be able to play through the rest of the song a lot faster once you have all of these chord shapes memorized. But once you have the chords memorized, then we can move on to the strumming patterns.
Worship and adore.
Alright, so like I always recommend, if you're brand new to guitar and a beginner, the first thing I want you to do is just do a practice pattern, which is just going to be one down strum on the beat for every chord change. Like I said earlier, it's really going to help you be able to learn the song and know where those chord transitions are going to be. It'll help with things like singing and playing at the same time and things like that. So let's go ahead and go through an example of what this would sound like. Go ahead and put your A minor chord on since that's the first chord in the song. All you want to do is strum it down once. Then you go to your next chord, which is our D minor 7, strum that down once. Then we have G7, strum down once. C major 7. Alright, and basically you want to just do that one down strum for the rest of the song and practice singing with it so that you know what word and things like that you'll be changing on. So let me go ahead and take you through the first little verse here to give you an example.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Alright, so sorry about my singing. This is a really weird song for my range. But anyway, you want to basically do that for the rest of the song. That way you can get familiar with where those transitions are going to be. But once you have the practice pattern down, let's go ahead and jump into our first strumming pattern. Alright, so our first strumming pattern is just down, down, up, down, up. And I like to use this for basically the entire song. What we're going to do is we're going to play this pattern through one time for every chord change. So let's go ahead and go through the motions of this pattern first. So go ahead and put your A minor chord on since that's the first chord in the song, and I just want you to go through the motions. We've got down, down, up, circle your hand, up, down, up. So when I say circle, for beginners, sometimes it can be hard for them to, instead of just going straight up and down, to circle your hand around and do that like down followed by a down or an up followed by an up. So if that's something that comes naturally to you, then totally ignore me. But if that's something that you're finding difficult, remember to kind of bring your hand back around to get it ready in position for the next strum, okay? So one more time, we've got down, down, up, circle, up, down, down, up. All right? So perfect. Once you have the motions down, we just have to get the rhythm. So let me go ahead and show you what the rhythm is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. All right, so why don't you try that rhythm with me now? Have your A minor chord on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Nice. So once you have the rhythm down, and all you have to do now is add those chord transitions back in and know where to transition. So again, we're going to play this pattern through one time for every chord change. So now let me go ahead and put the chord progressions on screen for you, and let's practice through this first little verse, okay? So we've got our A minor chord on, down, down, up, down, up. Switch to your next chord, which is our D minor 7, same thing, down, down, up, down, up. Then we have G7, down, down, up, down, up. C major 7, down, down, up, down, up. All right? So basically that is going to be the pattern for the entire song. Let's go ahead and string this together so that we're not stopping in between. We've got our A minor chord on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, up. D minor 7, G7, C major 7. All right, awesome. So you can kind of hear already what that strumming pattern is going to be like for the rest of the song. Again, you're just going to apply the same strumming pattern for every single chord, and you're going to play through it one time for every chord change. Now, although that does apply for 99% of the song, there is going to be some sections in this song where we're going to change the chords in the middle of this pattern. So that usually happens at the end of the verses. So let me go ahead and show you an example of what I'm talking about. We've got fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. So on the word Mars, he kind of switches chords a little bit faster there. So right there, we're going to be on our A minor chord, and it's going to switch to the A7 chord. So where we're going to switch is kind of right in the middle of this pattern. On our A minor chord, we're going to just play the first 2 down strums, and then for the rest of the pattern, up, down, up, we're going to switch to the A7 chord. So let me go ahead and show you just that line, because that's the only place that it applies. So let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. So we've got our F chord down, 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 up, down, up, and then D minor, down, down, up, down, up, then E7, down, down, up, down, up, and then right here for A minor and then A7, remember we're going to kind of split it up in this pattern. So we've got A minor, down, down, then to A7 and finish out the pattern, up, down, up. All right, it'll make more sense once I put the words back into it. So let me go ahead and show you with the words. So we've got, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and down, down, up, down, up. All right, so did you hear that subtle little change there? We've got A minor, down, down to A7, up, down, up. So if this is something that you find difficult with rhythm or something, you can totally just keep the A minor for the rest of the measure. So it'll basically be like the rest of the song. However, if you do want to make it sound a little bit closer to the original, I would recommend doing that little change in the middle. And it only happens at the end of all of these little verses where he does that, okay? But I'll have all of this written down for you at the end of the video where we go through the playthrough. So basically that is strumming pattern 1. And like I said, that is gonna be the pattern that I play for the majority of the song. But in case case you guys want to spice it up a little bit, I do have a second optional strumming pattern for you. As you can see, it's just 5 down strums, and I only use this one time in the entire song, and it's right there at the end of the song. So at the very end, Frank Sinatra will repeat, "In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you." So it's at the very end of the song. That's where we're going to apply this 5 down strum pattern. It'll be on the words, "Please be true." So if you've listened to the original song, it kind of builds up a little bit there and the rhythm switches a little bit. So if we're going to try to mimic that with our guitar, so if you have your D minor 7 chord on, we're going to start just like we have been doing with strumming pattern 1. So we've got down, down, up, down, up. Then you switch to G7, down, down, up, down, up. Then here on C and A minor, what you want to do is do the 5 down strum patterns. So we've got rest, down, 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 rest, down, 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 down. All right? And just for anyone new to music or anything, rest means just I'm not playing anything there. So you want to kind of mute the first beat and then come back in. So this will make a lot more sense when I put the words back into it. So let me do that for you so you can hear an example. So we've got, in other words, G, please be rest, rest. All right, so hopefully that made sense. Let me go ahead and just sing it so that you can hear what part of the song that goes in. In other words, please be rest, rest. All right, so that's the only place I like to use that second strumming pattern. Like I said, it's totally optional. If you don't like doing it that way, you can totally just keep the first strumming pattern throughout the song. But anyways, those are the only strumming patterns you need to know for this song. Like I said, if you just want to do that first strumming pattern through the whole thing, I think it sounds great. But yeah, once you have all those chords memorized, you've practiced transitioning between them, and you've got these strumming patterns down, we can now mix all of that together to play through the whole song.
Baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, and let me sing forever.
This is Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. Good luck.
Fly me to the moon, and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song, and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, I love you.
Alright, so that was my tutorial for Fly Me to the Moon. I really hope that you liked it. If it did help you, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below, as well as to subscribe to my channel and turn on that bell notification. That way you never miss out on another new tutorial. Here are my social media sites in case you'd like to follow me on any of those. That's just where I do fun things like giveaways, behind the scenes looks at things coming up. I'll poll you guys on things you guys want to see. And this is also where I go to find someone to feature in my new segment, Forever Features. This week we have Kaneko from Japan playing 22 by Taylor Swift. Let's give it a listen. So if you want to be featured in an upcoming tutorial, make sure to follow me on Instagram at xforeverfaithfulx and post a short cover of you playing any song that you've learned from any of the tutorials found on my channel. Make sure to use that hashtag #ForeverFeatures in the description so that I can find it, and the next feature spot could be you. One last little plug, if you liked the shirt I was wearing in today's tutorial, this is my brand new Capo design that you can find in my merch store, linked in the description down below, as well as found under this video. Every purchase there helps this channel to grow and allows me to continue making these free tutorials for you guys, so thank you so much to anyone who's ever supported me in that way. But yeah, I guess that's the end of this video, so thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope it helped, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye! You.